In a lavish mansion, where the echoes of hope and despair intertwine, the extraordinary challenges faced by a shipping magnate's twins cast a long shadow over their opulent surroundings. Born blind and unable to walk, their lives unfolded against the backdrop of silence, broken only by the tender care of a devoted maid who became their lifeline. This is not merely a story of limitations, it is one of resilience, connection, and the transformative power of love. As we embark on this journey, we are invited to witness the profound bond that develops between the maid and the twins, revealing layers of potential hidden beneath their struggles. Imagine the secrets that lie within a single thread, symbolizing both fragility and the promise of progress. What if this simple object could bridge the gap between despair and hope? This tale resonates beyond the confines of the mansion, addressing universal themes of parental responsibility, societal expectations, and the extraordinary lengths one might go to for those they cherish. As we delve deeper into the emotional journey of the father, the maid, and the twins, we will explore the tension between traditional beliefs and unconventional methods, uncovering how the heart can lead to unexpected pathways. How often do we overlook the simple gestures that can transform lives? Join us as we uncover the moments that define this family's journey, where the impossible becomes possible and the true meaning of connection is revealed. Prepare to be moved and inspired by this touching story that challenges our perceptions and invites us to reflect on the power of care and attention in overcoming life's obstacles. Within the opulent halls of this sprawling mansion, the shipping magnate grappled with the profound challenges of fatherhood. His twins, born with blindness and an inability to walk, became the source of heartache and confusion. The once vibrant household, filled with laughter and the sounds of children playing, had been replaced by an overwhelming silence, marked only by the soft breathing of the twins and the distant echoes of a life that felt increasingly out of reach. Each day, the father watched as his children struggled against their limitations, serving as a painful reminder of the dreams he had envisioned for them. How many parents, he wondered, could relate to this sense of helplessness? It was as if the universe had conspired to keep him at a distance from the joys of parenting. Meanwhile, the maid emerged as a compassionate figure who had embraced the role of caregiver, dedicating herself entirely to the twins. Her own past was marked by struggles, and in the twins she recognized reflections of her vulnerabilities. A bond formed between them that transcended the children's physical challenges, nurturing their spirits and encouraging their growth. Yet the father remained unaware of the depth of this connection, trapped in his blind spots. Relying heavily on experts, he hoped they would provide solutions to the seemingly insurmountable obstacles his children faced. As the years passed, each failed attempt piled the weight of despair heavier upon his shoulders. Wandering through the mansion's empty rooms, he often found himself lost in thought, questioning whether he had done enough. Could he have approached things differently? What if he had chosen to engage more with his children instead of delegating their care to others? These questions haunted him, echoing in the silence that enveloped him. In contrast, the maid moved through the household with purpose, driven by a vow she had made long ago to fight for those who couldn't fight for themselves. Observing the twins closely, she noticed small, peculiar behaviors that hinted at their hidden potential. During one of those quiet moments, she began to witness the first flickers of possibility, a spark igniting hope within her. A delicate thread, a simple object, became a recurring motif in her interactions with the twins. This thread represented not just the fragility of their situation, but also the potential for connection. The maid wove it into their playtime, creating a tactile experience that allowed the twins to explore their environment in new ways. She understood that while they could neither see nor walk, they could still feel, and through that feeling, they could learn and grow. Have you ever experienced a moment where something simple became a powerful tool for change? The maid recognized that this thread could serve as a bridge between the twins and the world, enabling them to touch life in a way that felt meaningful. As time passed, the bond between the maid and the twins deepened, leading to moments of joy that contrasted sharply with the father's somber demeanor. Although loving, the father was consumed by fears of judgment and societal expectations, making it difficult for him to embrace the unconventional methods the maid advocated. He clung to the belief that only expert opinions could lead to progress, allowing institutional resistance to erect barriers he was not yet ready to confront. He had constructed walls around his heart, while the maid tirelessly worked to dismantle them. Despite her efforts, he remained resistant to the idea that hope could emerge from unconventional means. Yet as the twins began to show signs of progress, the maid felt an undeniable urge to act, even at the risk of backlash from the father. She had witnessed their small victories, those moments when they reached for the thread or giggled at its delightful sensations. What if she pushed further? The thought filled her with both excitement and dread. In a pivotal moment, she orchestrated a small, tactile intervention using the symbolic thread. This act was quiet, precise, and filled with intention. It was not about grand gestures, but rather about the simple act of nurturing their potential. As she guided the twins through their exploration, she felt an overwhelming sense of purpose. Each gentle tug of the thread, each smile that flickered across their faces was a testament to the strength of connection and the unwavering spirit of love. This story invites us to reflect on our own lives. How many threads of connection are waiting to be discovered in our relationships? What impact could a small act of kindness have on those around us? As we journey through this remarkable tale, we will uncover not just the challenges faced by this family, but also the extraordinary resilience of the human spirit. Together, let us walk this path of discovery, finding inspiration in the power of love and the potential that lies within us all. In the quiet corridors of the mansion where the shipping magnate resided, an unexpected bond began to blossom between the maid and the twins, revealing a connection that held the promise of transformation. The twins, born with profound challenges, had lived in an atmosphere of isolation, but the maid, with her gentle touch and unwavering devotion, became their lifeline. Each day, she would sit beside them, sharing stories of distant lands and adventures, her voice a soothing balm that pierced through the silence of their existence. As she recounted tales filled with vibrant imagery and warmth, the twins responded in ways that hinted at an understanding far beyond their physical limitations. Moments of laughter, the soft sounds of their giggles, filled the otherwise somber atmosphere of the mansion, a stark contrast to their father's growing despair. This bond, formed between the maid and the twins, was a testament to the incredible power of compassion. Have you ever experienced a connection with someone that felt almost instinctual, where words were unnecessary? It was as if they shared a language of their own, a mutual understanding that transcended the need for speech. The maid often noticed the subtle shifts in the twins' expressions, the way their tiny hands would grasp at the air, as if reaching for the very essence of her stories. Each interaction became a dance of discovery, revealing their personalities, hopes, and dreams, even if they had yet to find their voices. The maid's past, shadowed by her own struggles, had instilled in her the value of resilience and care. She had vowed to make a difference, to be a beacon of hope for those who felt lost. As she dedicated herself to the twins, she began to glimpse their potential, something others had overlooked. It wasn't merely about providing care, it was about nurturing their spirits and believing in their ability to overcome the barriers imposed by their circumstances. Every day, she would weave the delicate thread, a symbolic object that represented their journey together, into their playtime, hoping to inspire movement and connection. Yet the shadows of the mansion held more than just silence. They were filled with the weight of societal expectations and the father's fears. He often overlooked the transformative moments happening right beneath his nose. Consumed by his own worries and failures, he was trapped in a cycle of seeking expert opinions, relying on professionals who had failed to see the twins as more than their diagnoses. In his quest for answers, he missed the small miracles unfolding daily, moments where the twins showed signs of progress through the maid's attentive care. Have you ever been so wrapped up in your worries that you failed to notice the beauty around you? The maid often felt the weight of the father's disconnection, recognizing that while he sought to protect his children, he was inadvertently shutting them off from the very support they needed. She could sense the potential for joy and growth that lay dormant within the twins, just waiting for the right moment to flourish. The twins were not merely a reflection of their challenges. They were individuals with dreams and aspirations that deserved to be nurtured. As the days turned into weeks, the mansion began to change. The once cold silence started to shift, gradually filled with warmth and laughter. The father's journey mirrored the twins' progress as he began to pay attention to the small yet significant developments taking place in his children's lives. Instead of viewing the maid as a mere caretaker, he began to see her as an essential part of their journey, a partner in the growth of his children. This shift in perspective brought about a transformation not only within him, but also in the entire household. The father's heart began to thaw, and in a heartfelt moment, he learned the importance of vulnerability, of acknowledging that he did not have all the answers. He started to reflect on his past actions, realizing that his blind spots had kept him from truly understanding his children. This journey led to a public reckoning, where he made a statement acknowledging the maid's invaluable contributions. He outlined a plan to remedy the harm done and restore dignity to her role, solidifying her place in the twins' lives. As the final pieces of this story fell into place, the mansion was alive once more, filled with nurturing sounds and the love that had been missing for so long. The trials they had faced together had forged a bond that would withstand the test of time. In this new chapter, the twins thrived, and the maid remained a central figure in their lives, a living testament to the power of compassion and understanding. The final moral of this story emphasizes that true strength lies in our ability to listen and to care for one another. As you reflect on this narrative, consider how vital it is to engage with those around us, to embrace vulnerability, and to recognize the potential for growth in even the most challenging of circumstances. If you found this narrative meaningful, we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more stories that inspire and uplift. This journey, marked by resilience and connection, shows us that love and understanding can transform lives in ways we might never expect. The strain of disconnect weighed heavily on the maid, driving her to become a fierce advocate for the twins in a world that seemed to overlook their potential. As the twins began to respond more actively to her nurturing, the atmosphere within the mansion shifted. A palpable tension emerged, a push and pull between the maid's hopeful interventions and the father's deeply entrenched beliefs. He was consumed by fear of societal judgment, worried that any deviation from the norm would tarnish his reputation. Yet, the maid's determination remained steadfast. She began to see the twins not merely as children with disabilities, but as individuals brimming with dreams waiting to be realized. The delicate thread she used transformed into more than just a prop. It became a lifeline, symbolizing the bond they were forging, a connection that held the promise of something truly remarkable. One fateful afternoon, the maid orchestrated a small, tactile intervention that would prove transformative. With the twins comfortably settled in their play area, she gently threaded the symbolic object through their tiny fingers, guiding their movements with soft encouragement. It was a simple act, yet it carried the weight of possibility. In that moment, the twins responded in ways that even the maid found astonishing. They reached for the thread, their movements becoming intentional, infused with a newfound sense of agency. It was as if they had awakened from a long slumber, and what had once seemed impossible suddenly felt within reach. The air was thick with anticipation, and the maid's heart raced as she observed the twins engaging with the world around them. However, the joy of that moment was quickly overshadowed by the father's reaction. Initially, disbelief flooded him as he struggled to reconcile what he had just witnessed with the narrative he had constructed about his children. A wave of denial washed over him, and in a moment of confusion, he confronted the maid, questioning her methods and intentions. The small triumph they had shared spiraled into a whirlwind of emotions, creating a painful rift between the father and the maid. It was a devastating moment that shattered the fragile peace they had built, leaving the twins caught in the crossfire. In the days that followed, the father was compelled to confront the truth of his children's lives. He sought validation from credible sources, uncovering systemic failures that had long silenced the voices of those like his twins. The maid's unwavering faith in the twins' potential ignited a journey toward accountability. It was a challenging path, but one that led him to a deeper understanding of the obstacles his children faced. Through conversations with specialists and reflections on his past actions, he recognized his role in perpetuating the problem, allowing societal norms to dictate his response to their unique needs. As he grappled with his newfound responsibility, a public reckoning began to unfold. The father made a heartfelt statement, acknowledging the maid's invaluable contributions, publicly recognizing the bond she had nurtured with the twins. This moment of redemption was not only significant for the maid, but also for the family as a whole, as they started to outline a plan aimed at remedying the harm done while restoring dignity and respect to the maid's role in their lives. The transformation was profound, and the once cold silence of the mansion began to fill with warmth and laughter. Their final moments together became a testament to the power of connection and compassion. The twins, now more engaged and expressive, flourished in an environment that celebrated their uniqueness. The delicate thread, once a symbol of their struggles, now represented the strength of their bond, echoing through the mansion as a reminder of how far they had come. In those quiet moments together, the family learned the importance of listening, of care and attention, and how those small acts could lead to monumental changes. As this story unfolds, we are left with a profound moral. When we nurture relationships with empathy and understanding, we can overcome even the most daunting challenges. What do you think? How do our connections shape our lives? If this story resonated with you, we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Perhaps together we can continue to explore the transformative power of compassion. In the heart of the mansion, a quiet revolution was taking place, challenging the very foundations of how care and development were perceived. The twins, born into a world of darkness and immobility, found themselves entangled in the delicate web of expectations surrounding them. Their father, a shipping magnate accustomed to control and success, had always relied on expert guidance, convinced that conventional methods were the only path to improvement. However, the maid, with her compassionate spirit and unconventional insights, began to illuminate a different route. She understood that the twins, despite their limitations, possessed an innate potential waiting to be unlocked. With gentle persistence, she introduced small, innovative practices into their daily routines, fostering a sense of independence that had long been overshadowed by the family's wealth and the shadows of despair. Her approach was rooted in her own experiences, shaped by a past that had taught her the power of patience and creativity. Incorporating tactile activities into the twins' lives, she used everyday objects to stimulate their senses and encourage movement. It raises an intriguing question. How could something so simple yield such profound effects? As she grasped the delicate thread, the symbolic object central to their journey, she guided their hands along its smooth surface, inviting them to explore the world through touch. In those moments, the twins responded, their tiny fingers curling around the thread as if reaching for the possibilities that lay just beyond their grasp. This unconventional method sparked a transformation that the father could neither ignore nor deny. He observed, initially with skepticism, as the twins began to show signs of progress, lifting their heads, reaching out for toys, and making sounds of joy. Each small victory was a testament to the power of connection, a reminder that love and understanding could pave the way for remarkable change. The journey was not just about the twins. It was a journey for the entire family, inviting them all to reconsider their perceptions and embrace a new reality filled with hope and possibility. The story of the Maid and the twins serves as a powerful reminder that when we choose to see beyond limitations, we can unlock a world of potential that can transform lives, including our own. As the twins reached out with their small hands, attempting to make sounds that resembled laughter, the once silent mansion transformed into a vibrant space. The echoes of their emerging voices filled the air, creating a hopeful melody that contrasted sharply with the stillness that had defined their lives for so long. The father, witnessing this unexpected transformation brought about by the maid's unconventional methods, found himself at a pivotal moment. Should he hold on to the familiar, or dare to embrace this new reality unfolding before him? It's easy to envision the internal turmoil he experienced, caught between the beliefs he had held for years and the evidence of growth blossoming right in front of him. The tension in the air thickened as the twins flourished under the maid's nurturing care. It served as a powerful reminder that progress can emerge from the most unexpected sources, from those who perceive the world through a different lens. As the father observed the joy radiating from his children, a flicker of hope ignited within him. Perhaps there was something valuable to learn here, something that transcended the limitations he had imposed on his children. Yet the outside world remained skeptical. Societal pressures weighed heavily on him, where traditional views on disability and care were deeply ingrained. Many people believed that wealth could solve all problems, and that expert opinions were infallible. The maid, despite her growing bond with the twins, found herself at the center of whispers and judgment. Detractors questioned her methods and motives, expressing disbelief that she could achieve what the most qualified specialists had failed to do. But she remained steadfast, driven by a vow she had made to never allow limitations to define those she cared for. Her unwavering determination resonated with the twins, who began to thrive under her guidance. This newfound development sparked moments of joy that had previously seemed unattainable within the confines of their isolated lives. As the maid continued her work, the father found himself increasingly inspired by the twins' progress. He was drawn to their laughter, their smiles illuminating the darkness that had once enveloped their home. Could he truly allow himself to believe in this possibility? Slowly, the once skeptical father began to engage with the twins more actively, even attempting some of the activities himself under the maid's compassionate guidance. This gradual realization dawned upon him that conventional wisdom was not the sole path to follow. There were alternative ways to nurture and support the ones we love. In a particularly poignant moment, the father witnessed a breakthrough during one of the maid's sessions with the twins. As she wound a delicate thread around their small fingers, something extraordinary occurred. The twins not only grasped the thread, but began to pull it towards themselves, a simple act imbued with profound meaning. It was as if they were reaching out for a world that had long been beyond their grasp, a world filled with opportunities and hope. The father stood there, breath caught in his throat, unable to fully comprehend the magnitude of what he was witnessing. The impossible was unfolding right before his eyes, and in that moment he felt a mixture of disbelief, joy, and the dawning realization that perhaps he had underestimated the power of love and creativity in shaping lives. However, this moment of triumph was soon overshadowed by the father's instinctive reaction. Overwhelmed by a surge of emotions, he instinctively pulled away, retreating into the familiar confines of doubt and fear. He questioned the maid's methods, the unconventional path she had chosen, and the implications of her approach for their family. This widening gap between him and the maid mirrored the initial distance he had felt towards the twins. It served as a painful reminder of how fear can cloud our judgment, even in the face of undeniable progress. Yet, as days turned into weeks, the father sought clarity. He turned to credible sources, searching for validation of what he had experienced. Conversations with specialists revealed systemic failures in their previous approaches, and for the first time, the father confronted the uncomfortable truth of his own blind spots. The realization that he had allowed societal norms to dictate his decisions weighed heavily on him. He began to understand that true care requires an open heart and mind, an acceptance of new ideas and methods. The public reckoning came in the form of a heartfelt apology. The father gathered those who had previously questioned the maid's role, acknowledging her invaluable contributions, and outlining a plan to remedy past mistakes while honoring the unique bond she had formed with the twins. It was a profound moment of healing that restored dignity to the maid and solidified her place in the twins' lives. As the mansion transformed into a nurturing environment, laughter replaced the silence that had once ruled. The twins, now thriving, became symbols of resilience and hope. The delicate thread, once merely an object of curiosity, now represented a connection forged through love and unconventional care. Ultimately, the father learned an invaluable lesson, that embracing new ideas can lead to extraordinary outcomes. The mansion was no longer just a symbol of wealth. It had become a testament to the transformative power of compassion and the importance of seeing beyond limitations. As we reflect on this journey, we are reminded that sometimes the most profound changes arise from unexpected places. Have you ever found yourself in a similar situation where embracing the unconventional led to a transformative experience? We invite you to share your thoughts. And if this story resonated with you, consider liking and subscribing for more uplifting narratives. The grand, echoing halls of the mansion now brimmed with hope and possibility, a striking reminder that love and creativity can illuminate even the darkest paths. In the face of the twins' challenging reality, the maid emerged as a beacon of hope, illuminating the path towards possibilities previously shrouded in despair. Her unwavering commitment to the twins, combined with the unique ways they communicated, sparked a fire within her soul, a promise to advocate for those who could not advocate for themselves. This bond, represented by a delicate thread, began to weave together moments of joy and progress, pushing against the father's initial despair and denial. When the maid bravely orchestrated an intervention using that symbolic thread, something remarkable started to unfold. The twins, against all odds, began to respond in ways that defied their perceived limitations, challenging the father's beliefs about what was possible. In those breathtaking moments, he faced a choice: to remain in the confines of his expectations or to embrace the light that the maid had ignited within their home. This courageous act not only revealed the twins' hidden potential, but also compelled the father to confront the failures that had kept him blind to the true capabilities of his children. As the truth unfolded, he transitioned from disbelief to responsibility, acknowledging the invaluable contributions of the maid in ways he had never done before. His public recognition marked a transformative turning point as he openly celebrated the worth of those he had once overlooked. The mansion, once echoing with cold silence, began to resonate with warmth and laughter as the father learned to listen and embrace the lessons of care and attention. The twins' journey towards empowerment mirrored his own transformation, with the delicate thread symbolizing the resilience of their shared bond. Ultimately, the story of the shipping magnate's twins transcends their individual challenges. It beautifully illustrates the profound power of connection, compassion, and the courage to defy societal expectations. It serves as a powerful reminder that monumental changes often begin with the simplest acts of love. As we reflect on this journey, we're invited to ask ourselves how we can incorporate these lessons into our lives. Are we listening closely enough to the needs of those around us? Change truly begins with awareness, and every act of kindness can send ripples outward, creating a tapestry of hope. So let us carry this message forward. In a world that often overlooks the vulnerable, may we always choose to see and uplift each other, for it is in our connections that we discover our greatest strength. Together, we can foster a community where compassion reigns and every individual is valued, reminding us that even the smallest gestures can spark extraordinary transformations.